Hey man, you collect NFTs, don't you? I just heard about them but don't really understand what they are. Yeah, I do. Basically, an NFT is a smart contract that's represented by a piece of digital art. Wait, a smart contract? What's that exactly? A smart contract is a set of conditions that have to occur for a certain outcome to happen. For NFTs, it basically typically holds all the specifications of the digital artwork along with all of the past and present owner. I thought that's what the blockchain does. So is it really the smart contract that does that? Yes and no. Each NFT has its own smart contract that holds all the specifications about it because every NFT is different, and then that smart contract is then held and stored on the blockchain itself. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But why are some NFTs so expensive? The value of an NFT is going to be determined by the supply and demand for that NFT project, just like basically any other investment out there. I still don't get it though. Why are some people willing to pay so much for a picture that they can just save without buying it? There are many different reasons that NFTs are going to vary in price. Essentially, some of them are going to have an underlying benefit besides them just being a piece of digital art. For example, they might also serve as a ticket or pass to some event. Hang on, but why would I buy a ticket as an NFT? Why wouldn't I just buy them like I do now? It's not necessarily about how you want to buy tickets, it's more so about how you're going to have to buy tickets. Because for companies, venues, and anyone else selling a ticket to an event, it's more practical and economical for them to sell them as NFTs instead of how they're doing it now. Wait, how so? Since the tickets are going to be held in the form of an NFT, they're going to be stored on the blockchain, which means they can't be faked. Also, there's no need to print out the physical copies of the tickets, and the company has the potential to make royalties off of each ticket sold if they get sold after the event takes place. Okay, that makes sense, but you said there's other reasons they can be more valuable. What were you talking about? Yeah, so they can also act as a status symbol, but a lot of people blow this one off when they really shouldn't. Why is that? Can you explain more? Essentially everything people buy is a status symbol, especially before COVID when people bought name brand clothes, shoes, playing cards, accessories that made them look cool so they could flex. NFTs are going to be the same thing before the metaverse. Essentially, they're going to buy cool looking things to show off in the metaverse to other people as a status symbol. The metaverse. I've heard people talk about it, but what is it exactly? The metaverse is really the next stage of the internet, and I think you'd agree that most people spend a ton of time online. But where the metaverse is really going to shine is when VR and AR start becoming a lot more common. I get that VR is for virtual reality, but what's AR for? AR stands for augmented reality. It's basically a mixture between virtual reality and real life. You've probably already used it in the form of filters that change how something looks like or how you look like. Oh, okay, I get what you mean, but how are NFTs going to play a role in virtual reality and augmented reality? How I see AR being used is that people are going to be able to show off their NFTs to the people around them so that they can see them as well. And for VR, how I picture it is you'll own a house or building in virtual reality, which will be in the form of an NFT, and essentially everything inside of it could be an NFT. Not to mention your avatar could have different outfits or appearances that would all be NFTs, or like weapons and skins in games. Wait, weapons and skins in games? Yeah, so we'll most likely start seeing video game companies start shifting and offering their skins and unlockables in the form of NFTs, because they're already really similar. That's cool, but how can I figure out which NFTs are valuable and which aren't? That's the tricky part. It's hard to put a value on an NFT project that's brand new before the demand is there yet. For myself, what I normally look for is the team behind the project and their long-term goal and how reliable I think they are and if they're going to be able to follow that goal all the way through or not. That makes sense. Are there any projects you'd recommend to someone just getting into NFTs? What I'd recommend to someone just starting out in NFTs is to go and look at projects that are already successful that you can't afford yet and basically just apply what made them successful to newer projects that you're just researching. A good example of a project to look into would be Gary V's VFriends. Sounds like good advice to me. Are there any marketplaces where you can go and buy NFTs from? There are several actually. Different chains such as Polygon, Solana, and Ethereum all have their own marketplaces where you can go and get NFTs at. A good place to start though would be OpenSea, which is one of the main marketplaces for the Ethereum network. Why are there different networks that NFTs can be sold on? Why aren't they all just sold on the same network? Different networks are going to have different advantages and disadvantages. The Ethereum network, for example, is one of the major ones, but one of its big drawbacks is the form of gas fees that you just have to pay for every transaction. Gas fees? What are they? A gas fee is just a transactional fee that has to be paid every single time there's a transaction on the Ethereum network, but because of how popular the Ethereum network is, the gas fees right now are really high, but it should be getting fixed fairly soon. Wait, fixed how? So Ethereum is trying to switch from proof of work to proof of stake. There's a lot that goes into this, but one of the main key factors for NFTs is that you should be seeing significantly lower gas fees. Oh, okay. Is there any time frame on when that's going to happen though? And is there anywhere I should be following to make sure I don't miss any updates? There's no exact date set yet, but they're wanting it to happen sometime in 2022. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll keep you up to date there. Awesome. Thanks for the information. I'll make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And you should too.